Hey guys, how are you doing? This is Rob of Rule of Two Review. Welcome back to the channel, and today I am a few days late to this story, but it's a huge story, and I do finally want to chime in a little bit about what's been going on with Blizzard and Overwatch, and specifically Nintendo. So boy oh boy, it has been a busy week when it comes to the video game industry, and of course to Blizzard. We know that they've gotten themselves into a huge conundrum and a massive mess when it comes to Hearthstone specifically, and the big tournament there, and everything going on with the stances that they're taking with the Hong Kong and China situation because of a live stream and an interview for the winner, and just yikes. It's been crazy. You guys obviously know the story, so I know you probably don't need much of a recap. And so because of that situation and the drama that Blizzard has gotten themselves into, that has also started to affect Blizzard as a company and then some of their other games, which is what then focuses us back onto Nintendo, because as we know, Overwatch was just announced to be coming to the Nintendo Switch at the most recent Nintendo Direct, which has been, for the most part, really exciting, you know, and as I've discussed, I predicted Overwatch coming to the Switch back in like 2017, when Blizzard was first kind of sort of toying with the idea of doing it, and I always believed that it made sense, and here we are in 2019, and the game is set to release this week, like literally just a couple of days from the recording of this video, you know, right after this huge scandal broke with Blizzard and everything. Overwatch was coming to the Nintendo Switch. And unfortunately, through all of this drama, the release of Overwatch on the Switch, which would otherwise have been really exciting and really great, is now marred and overshadowed by the fact that Blizzard is just not a popular company right now, and people do not like them, and people do not want to support them. In fact, as hard as it is to say, I'm also one of those people. I was hoping to pick up Overwatch on the Switch, and I've also very much been looking forward to Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which of course is made by Activision, part of the same company, Activision Blizzard. And, you know, I'm really not into supporting a lot of what Blizzard is doing right now, and even though Blizzard isn't the same as Activision, they also kind of are the same, and so I'm very much considering not even buying Call of Duty. So I haven't made up my mind on that one yet. I don't really know where I stand, but I have for sure decided not to pick up Overwatch on the Switch because that is specifically Blizzard, and I'm not yet ready to support that company based on what's been happening with this whole conundrum. Now, something else that was supposed to be happening with the release of Overwatch on the Switch was this week at the Nintendo New York store, which is an awesome place that I did have a chance to visit a couple of years ago. They were going to be doing an Overwatch event, kind of an Overwatch overall launch event. I think that there was going to be a competition. People were signing up to, you know, join this competition and compete with other players and just kind of celebrate in a big, fancy, fun way the release of Overwatch on the Switch, you know, happening at this place where Nintendo does put on a lot of events. And they had advertised this on Twitter, and it was this really cool thing that people were excited for. However, this past week, after the scandal broke with Blizzard and everyone trying to boycott the company, Nintendo posted a tweet, you know, kind of following within the replies of this initial Overwatch tweet, that unfortunately this event has been canceled, and here's what it says. Please be aware that the previously announced Overwatch event, scheduled for Wednesday, October 16th at Nintendo New York City, has been canceled by Blizzard. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. And so there you go, that event was canceled. And coincidentally, that event was supposed to happen yesterday, actually the day after I recorded this video here in the morning on the 17th. And that event, unfortunately, did not happen. And, you know, there's a couple of interesting things I think that everyone took away from that tweet. One was, obviously, the event was canceled, so okay, that sucks. Two was, okay, the drama behind Blizzard is now affecting the newest release on the Nintendo Switch, which initially had nothing to do with Hearthstone, where the whole thing kind of started. And three, the big telltale sign is that they say that the event at Nintendo New York City has been canceled by Blizzard. And so Blizzard was the company who made the decision not to do this, not Nintendo specifically, because of course Blizzard is the company that's under fire here, and they're going around trying to stop anyone from having t-shirts and signs and anything that supports Hong Kong and is about the protests happening over there right now, which is all a very, very big deal that I very much am personally in support of. You know, I'm not going to get political here. You guys know I make a point not to do that on my videos, but I will say I'm in support of what's going on there. I think that people are making the right call. And so Blizzard, unfortunately, due to some of their monetary ties to some larger regimes out there in the world, hint, hint, wink, wink, doesn't want to see any of this stuff associated with their events and their games. And so they knew that they had this Overwatch launch event happening at the Nintendo New York store, and they decided, hey, we don't want to have anything going on right now. People are going to be very anti-Blizzard. They're going to be, you know, pro-Hong Kong, and heaven forbid we allow that to happen, and we don't want that anywhere. So we're canceling the event. And the really lame part about all of this is that it seems as though Blizzard made the decision to cancel, per Nintendo's tweet, but Blizzard didn't say anything about it. It seems like they left this choice up to Nintendo to have to translate the messaging to the gamer and to the people who were excited to go to this event, people who wanted to buy the game, and people who wanted to compete in Overwatch. And so, you know, the whole thing just stinks. The whole thing just sucks, and it reeks of controversy, and it reeks of corruption, and I just think that it really sucks. You know, that's really kind of all you can really say about this, right? Is that it seems unfair, and that it seems like Nintendo was put in an awkward position, and, you know, they worked obviously really hard to finally get this game over to the Switch, as did Blizzard and the people who work for Blizzard, to be fair. I'm sure the people who have nothing to do with the controversy, the people who are just working for one of their favorite video game companies, making these great games that we all want to play and that we all enjoy. And all of these people worked really hard to make this happen, and here this big event was going to celebrate it and help market and promote it, and now it's done. It's donezo because Blizzard knows that right now they suck in the eyes of the gamer, and they know that they're controversial, and they know that they're being boycotted, and so they wanted to avoid the kind of pressure that they were going to be under to kind of put on this event and put on a happy face while everyone is like, free Hong Kong, you guys suck, boycott Blizzard. Which I understand to a degree. I mean, you don't want to put yourself out there to be roasted and crucified by the public. Even if you deserve it, I understand their motivation for not wanting to go through it. But why couldn't, at the very least, why couldn't they have been the ones to say, hey, world, we're not doing this, you know? We acknowledge that we suck. You all are mad at us. None of you like us. And so we don't want to go to a public event where you're just going to, you know, yell at us and throw tomatoes metaphorically at us and just tell us how much we suck. And promote this thing that our Chinese overlords don't want us to have anything to do with, because heaven forbid we do something that's morally true and just, and instead we just have to follow the money and we have to just kind of lick the boots of those who pay our bills. And it's just a really big, gross, disgusting mess. I mean, honestly, I don't even know if there's that much more to say about it. It does make me pretty angry and upset, and I've had a lot of very passionate feelings about it that, you know, other than a couple of tweets that I've put out on Twitter, I haven't really been talking about too much. Sometimes I want to be a lot more political on Twitter than I really should, considering I'm really just a gaming YouTuber, and that's what my Twitter feed is for and what my videos are for. Every once in a while on Twitter, I do talk about stuff, you know, presidential election and the debates and things are going on, and I'm very invested, very into it. I do follow it. I have a lot of opinions and feelings. But you'd be surprised, even if you occasionally see a tweet from me about something political, even if it's the Blizzard stuff and everything going on with China, I'm actually holding back a lot, because I leave that for my personal stuff. I have a personal Twitter and a personal Facebook that I share those opinions on. The Rule of Two review stuff and the YouTube stuff, I do try to keep separate. So I don't want you to take me as somebody who doesn't care about the important political stuff in the world and who doesn't vocalize and share my opinions, because I absolutely do. I just do it personally amongst the people that I know and who I follow personally, aside from YouTube, you know, And so what I'm trying to say here is I have a lot of opinions on this because of the political ramifications, and I have a lot that I could go on about for a very, very long time. But other than this video and the opinions I've shared here, where I support the Hong Kong situation, I'm not a fan of what's going on with China, and I'm not a fan of companies like Blizzard and, of course, the NBA cowering, just showing so much fear in the face of China and what's going on, and all of the money that they're gaining, and they would never sacrifice that money for the sake of doing what's morally correct. Not, you know, disregarding the fact that they're making millions and billions of dollars in other countries that isn't China also. Like, they could make up the loss of China's revenue in other areas by doing what's morally correct. And, you know, these companies, Blizzard included, are not doing it. And so now here we are. It's affecting a release on the Nintendo Switch. Like I've already said, a release that should otherwise be really exciting and we should all be praising. And now it's kind of marred by this controversy. And really, Blizzard has no one to blame but themselves. And they kind of threw Nintendo under the bus. And I'm sure that they sent one email to like, hey, we're canceling the Nintendo New York event. We're not going to be there. Bye. And then Nintendo was like, well, I guess we have to tell everybody, since the company making the decision and making the game isn't doing it themselves, they're not manning up to tell everyone what's going on. I guess it's left up to us. Gee, how great. So that's what's going on. I kind of was all over the rails here just because of the importance of this topic and the fact that I've really been holding back a lot of feelings about it for, you know, this whole past week or so since it's been going on. It really sucks, and I guess we'll see what happens. Is it going to affect the sales of Overwatch on the Switch? I kind of think it won't, believe it or not. I know that you might want to think that it will, and a lot of people are boycotting Blizzard. Myself included. Like I said, I'm boycotting Overwatch at least. So I guess maybe a little bit it might affect the sales, but I feel like overall, a lot of people are still going to be picking up this game. I've already seen a lot of videos of Overwatch on the Switch. People are already playing it. You've even seen some gameplay of it in this video probably, so it's out there and people are into it. And I believe it's going to be a good game, you know, separate from the political situation. I think it's going to be quality, so I don't know. Blizzard's in a weird situation, and a year from now, who even knows? I don't expect BlizzCon to happen in a couple of weeks either. It's going to be crazy. So let's just kind of wait and see what happens. What do you guys think? What are your opinions on what's going on with Blizzard as a company, the Hearthstone thing, the Overwatch thing, throwing Nintendo under the bus to make the announcement thing? All of this crazy stuff. It's a nutty world out there, so tell me what you guys think. And with that, this video is a wrap. Thanks, of course, as always, for tuning in, guys. This is Rob of Rule of Two Review, and I'll catch you next time on another video.